Welcome back to Mac Talks Football. And if there was one footballer, at the start of last season or at the mid of last season, you would have told me that his stock is gonna go up. I would not have guessed it to be Antony. But I mean, what a season! End of the season he had, and not at Manchester United. Of course, nothing went right for Manchester United. He chose to join Real Betis on loan, and I mean, he had a really great time here. He sort of became sort of a folk hero there. Everybody loved Antony, and he loved his time at Real Betis as well. He scored goals, he won them game. They went to the Conference League final. Unfortunately, they ended up losing the final, but he was pivotal for them, whether it was to finish higher in the table to qualify for the Europa League, or whether it was to get into the finals of the Conference League. And of course, as I said, they lost in the final, but he was very important for them, and it looked like he was a completely new player playing at Real Betis. And you would not believe that it was the same guy who was playing football at Manchester United. And it felt like sometimes I think just come together for everybody, and it felt like Antony at Real Betis was a perfect fit. He was given the freedom by Manuel Pellegrini to go ahead and play the way he wants. He became like the sort of the focal point. He became the main guy. Like, he had a freedom to do whatever he wanted. At Manchester United, it felt like he was restrained. He was not allowed to do what he wanted to do. It just felt like he was not really happy at Manchester United. I don't know what happened at Manchester United. He's a special player. We all know that. We all know that. That is why Manchester United went ahead and paid the big bucks for him in the first place. But his time at Manchester United was not a good one. Let's be very honest here. And what he did at Real Betis, it just shows that sometimes you need to go somewhere else, to regenerate your career. And luckily for him, it really worked well for Real Betis. It worked so well that now he is in a high demand at the moment. There are about 3 or 4 clubs that really want to sign Antony, especially at the two clubs are at the moment leading the race in a way are Real Betis again, because they want him back. And it feels like Antony himself wants to go back to Real Betis. It's his preference that he wants to go back because he enjoyed his time there. And on the other hand, Como themselves, Como have entered the race in the last 2-3 days. They really want to sign Antony. They think Cesc Fabregas and the board, they think that he can really be helpful for them in their push this season. The main thing last season was to somehow get into those a mid-table top 10 finish for Como. And this season, the way that Como are signing the players, they are really trying to make a push for those European places. And they think that Antony coming in as a player, and let's be very honest, Como have a good amount of money. They have a giant backing, and they can go ahead and get the deal done. And they think that Antony could be the guy that he can come in. He's gonna come in and he's gonna be a star player. There are not that many star players at Como, and he's gonna come in and he's gonna really help them. And I think that with the way that Como play and under the guidance of Cesc Fabregas, I think he's gonna be really helpful. He's gonna really enjoy his football at Como as well. But as I said before, his preference, it feels like he wants to return to Real Betis. But the problem is gonna be the payment. It is still, there's no club-to-club contact between Real Betis and Manchester United. There's still no club-to-club contact between Como and Manchester United. But it feels like these two are the most ahead in the line of his transfer at the moment. As I said, no club-to-club contact is there, but it feels like it is going to be one of them. But it is going to come to the financial backing, and that is why, in my opinion, even though Antony prefers going to Real Betis, I think Como are in a much more favorable position as compared to Real Betis. They said he's willing to take a pay cut to leave Manchester United. That just shows how much he was struggling at Manchester United, and how much he's happy to just get out of that club. Unfortunately, it is sort of unbelievable that somebody wants to leave Manchester United to go away to Real Betis. No disrespect to Real Betis, but we are talking about Manchester United, and Real Betis, unfortunately, at the moment they're not on their level. But somebody wants to leave Manchester United so bad that they are willing to take a wage cut. That could really help Real Betis, because financially they are not as strong as Como. They are not going to be able to pay what he's getting at Manchester United. And then of course it is going to be another interesting thing that if Real Betis are not, what is going to be the asking price that Manchester United set for him. Of course, they paid a huge amount of money for him, and they would want to, get at least, not even if no, they are not gonna get 100% out of it. They would like at least 30 to 40% as to get something back from, from what they paid. So it's going to be very interesting of what is going to be that asking price, because as I said, still no official contact has been made. The rumors are there, and it keeps on getting consistent that it is going to be one of these two clubs. So if I were a betting man, I think if Real Betis go ahead and they try to make a bid, I would say that they cannot really afford Antony, in my opinion, in terms of the financial package. Because if, let's say for example, Manchester United say we want to sell Antony for about 35 to 40 million, I don't think Real Betis can pay 40 million for just one single player. I might be wrong, but I just don't think it is going to happen. Como, on the other hand, they might be really happy, to go ahead and pay that amount. And I think Manchester United are going to be really happy if it comes to a bidding war. Because if it was just a Real Betis, I think Real Betis could have easily gotten him for about 20-25 million. But now, because Como have entered the race and they know there is competition, Manchester United are going to stroll and they're going to see what other offers they can get. And I think that is going to rise the price for Antony. And I think that is going to help Manchester United. And that is the reason why I think that the move to Real Betis is going to be in jeopardy. Because if Como really want to splash the cash, they can really go ahead and do that. And I think if Fabregas really wants Antony, which it feels like he wants, and I think he's going to go ahead and do it, they are going to offer him a good amount of wages. Even if he's like 30 to 40% wage cut he's willing to take. I think if he goes to Como are going to offer, not if they don't offer him the same package as Manchester United, he might not be able, he might not have to take a 40% wage cut. It might just be 20% wage cut. And because, as I said, Como have a good amount of money, they have a good financial backing. So I think it will be very interesting to see what happens. And if the bidding war comes in, it might happen that Real Betis might offer Manchester United the offer that we will take him on loan for the entirety of the year. And then with an option to buy, they can go ahead and they can play that card as well. But then again, it comes back to Manchester United, what they want to do, whether they want to keep him or maybe they don't want to loan him out. And especially if they get an offer from Como to buy him permanently with a higher amount than Real Betis are going to offer, I think Manchester United are going to go ahead and take that as well. So this transfer is going to be really interesting. I know it's not like that. It's not like a big transfer that everybody's going to go ahead and talk about, but I think it is going to be one of the most interesting transfers of the summer. As I say, and it's interesting, there are still a couple of Premier League clubs who want who are keeping tabs on Antony as well, but I just don't think he's going to stay in the Premier League. I don't think England really suited Antony. I think he really wants to move out of England. So I think that is why the more and more rumors and more concrete talks, more journalists that are reporting reporting about Como or Real Betis. So I think it is going to be quite an interesting transfer saga. It might not happen this week. He's still with the Brazil squad playing that CONCACAF Gold Cup. So I think it is going to drag down until the mid of July, maybe at the start of August as well. But I think it is going to be one interesting transfer story that we are going to keep talking about as the summer goes on. In my opinion, as I said, at the moment, in my opinion, I think Como are favored, even though Antony favors Real Betis. But if it's the financial package, I would say Como are the favorites. Let me know what you guys think of this entire scenario. Who do you think is the favorite, and where do you think Antony should go? As I said, he wants to go to Real Betis, but do you think he's going to go suit Como more? And do you think if he goes there, Como have a chance to qualify for Europe or not? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course, subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 600 subscribers as quickly as possible. That's the target. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.